Servus, as we say in Austria. If you stay tuned with me the next couple of minutes, I will show you how you can increase your business. What is it that challenged you the most in your business? How do you deal with the new customer demands? What is smart? Smart building, smart automation? Most electricians and system integrators, at least the ones I know, they wait for the end customers. They wait for them to ask for automation. Let's get ahead of the pack. Let's propose the world's most powerful system to all of your clients. With the help of our partners, we could realize more than 140,000 projects, mainly in Europe. And now we search for new customers, new partners, where we can continue this success story. Our target market is planet Earth. From luxury apartments to villas to palaces to custom applications. I recently did a wine production in Italy, and there is no limits for our solution. And I like to now teach you a new word, which is clopen. Loxone is a clopen solution. What do I mean with this? I mean that Loxone is closed in a way that we provide our own devices, our own lamps, light fittings, drivers, where you can be 100% sure that the devices work perfectly with one another. But on the other hand, we have open interfaces like Modbus, KNX, RS485, and on, where you can integrate other products to fulfill your customers' demands. I will now hand over to our international tech guy, Andreas.
Servus. I will now show you briefly our technical setup before we jump into the software part. Okay, here we have our two demo cases. On the left, we have our Loxone components, and on the right, we have our KNX components. So here we see our most important component, the Loxone mini server. It is connected to our local company network on top. Here we can see the KNX line where the KNX components are connected, and it has a 24-volt power supply. If you scoot over to the KNX components, here we have connected up one relay from a blind actuator and a touch, so we can send the impulse to open up the relay. It has a 30-volt power supply, and that's basically it.
So, now that you've seen the setup, let's jump into the software part. Before we're going to open up our Loxone config and start programming, you need to set up your KNX products with the ETS and assign a group address. For example, I have already set my push button to the group address 00 and 2 and my blind actuator to the group address 00 and 1. This is what I need to do before we start programming with the Loxone config. I have already done that, so I have connected to my mini server generation 1, and you can see that the KNX EAB line is down below. There are already actuators and sensors, so the only thing that I'm left to do is go on top and add my actuator. I'm going to give him the name relay, and as I have assigned, the group address is 00 and 1 for the actuator. The type is a switch or push button. If you're using other KNX products, this can vary, but for me, this is a switch and push button. You can drag and drop it into the site and go ahead and create my sensor. Again, highlight it, add a KNX sensor. Let's give him the name push button. The address that I've set in the ETS for the push button is 00 and 2. And 2. Again, the type is a switch or push button. That may vary for you, whatever KNX product you have. Just drag and drop it in here. And I want to just open up the relay when the button is pressed. So I'm simply going to connect it directly onto the relay. Only thing left to do, save into the mini server that my program that I created right now with the actuators and sensors are getting saved directly into the mini server. We can now start our live view that will show us what the system is really doing here on the top left as soon as the mini server is back up from saving, which is right now. I'm going to start my live view, and I can see right now there's nothing going on, but as soon as I press on my push button, as I'm doing right now, I can see in the live view that the push button turns yellow as well as the relay. Now when I let go of it, the relay goes off. Exactly what I wanted. Let's do it one more time. I press the push button, then it's on, and the relay also on. Cool. That's everything you need to know. Program your KNX products via the ETS beforehand, give them the group addresses, then jump into the Loxone config, create your actuators and sensors, save into the mini server. That's basically it. per KNX EIB line on the mini server or via the extension, you can create 500 actuators or sensors. So you have a lot of space. Okay, now that you're familiar with the programming, let me show you how to visualize it. If we want to visualize it and control it with the app, we just need to enter a block. I can do this with pressing F5 on my keyboard or pressing this button for the search bar. Now I will enter the EIB switch block. Just put it in here. And we're actually going to delete this connection and add our push button onto the trigger and add our output, the relay, onto the queue. Now you can see on the top left here, I can give the button and the block a name, and I can set a category, which is control, so this is fine with me. And let's just give it into the living room. That the changes are going to take place, I'm going to have to save in the mini server. We have around 250 blocks for everyone that it makes sense. You can also visualize them and yeah, control them via the app. The app is totally free to download, which you can go on our downloads page. Now that the mini server is back up again, you can see that I'm connected to my mini server. And on the bottom right, we have the rooms and the categories. Here, for example, the living room or the controls. Now you can see when I activate the live view again, that when I press the button in the app, the relay is going to turn on. And now, for example, also when I press the button in real life, the relay is going to turn off. It's a trigger, so the first impulse is we're going to turn it on. The second impulse is going to turn it off. That's all for the visualization that you need to do. Okay, that's all. Have a good one.
Wow, that was awesome. So, after all you've seen, what are you waiting for? Join the Loxone universe today. Your success is our business. And if you want to see more, I will do a free webinar. You can check it out on the Loxone website, where I will plan, program, and do the visualization for a full house in under 10 minutes. Challenge me with your questions. Hope to see you there. Have a nice day.